Well, we are live at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology here in Bondo, Siaya County. This is a venue for the final funeral of the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. We already have residents of Bondo, Kenyans from across the country, and even international dignitaries who've made their way here to pay their final respects to late Raila Amolo Odinga. Myself, Michelle Odhiambo, Ibrahim Karanja, and the entire NTV team has been camping here in Bondo County following the very last moments on earth of a man that many only called Baba. Now, just yesterday, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, who's also the co-chair of the National State Funeral Committee, did announce a raft of activities to take place today, beginning with that interment ceremony that is set to begin from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here at the Jaramogi Oginga University of Science and Technology. President William Ruto is expected here to lead the nation in bidding Raila Odinga farewell. And Ibrahim, we've seen several dignitaries come here, many of them even in traditional regalia, a clear sign of respect in Luo tradition. What are your expectations?
Well, my expectation is this is going to be a send-off that will be for the books. This is going to be a send-off where the entire country, the entire globe will be watching, because remember, even heads of states and government, or at least representative of governments, will be here, aside from the Kenyan government. And the tributes that they will make to Raila Odinga are tributes, I'm sure, will be quoted in the coming days and years. Many want to know what their thoughts are about the former Prime Minister. They would want to know where it is that these particular leaders, the kind of interaction they had with Raila Odinga, and this is where they will be making this. But you've mentioned, Michelle, that you already have dignitaries who have arrived, and I've seen a couple of, I've already seen the Attorney General, Dorcas Oduor. I've also seen a couple of governors, a couple of CSs, as well as principal secretaries who are seated on the main VIP dais. But beyond that is the outpouring love and the number of people who are on this side. While walking in this morning, I've seen lots of people walking in, of course, taking that particular position, yet it is already full, and the function will be starting way later, like from in the next couple of minutes. Yet from as early as 5 a.m. you could hear this place with people already chanting. You've seen what the MC is doing, just trying to arouse the love of the people here by the mention of Raila Amolo Odinga. This is the final journey. This is the last day. A last day that I'm not able to even come to terms with in terms of describing the kind of feel that this particular stadium has. And also of importance is the military honors that Raila Odinga will be given later at Kangoka Jaramogi. Remember, it's about 5 kilometers from here. And immediately the funeral service concludes here. The cortege will head straight to Kangoka Jaramogi. There we expect the full military honors, including a 19-gun salute that will be done in honor of Raila Amolo Odinga. So I'll start looking for some of the dignitaries to see who we can speak to, and some of the leaders some of the mourners rather, to see how they would remember Raila Odinga, their last memory of him, and how they would send him off. But for now, Michelle, I think this is going to be, like I said, an event for the books.
Absolutely. And of course, the elder brother to Raila Odinga, Oburu Odinga, did make it clear that the burial, or the final burial at Kangoka Jaramogi, will only be attended by a few family members and select members of the family. It will not be open to the public. And so this venue here, the Jaramogi Oginga University of Science and Technology in Bondo today, is the final venue, a very significant venue for fans and supporters of Baba to pay their final respects. Now, we will have a committal after this interment ceremony, which is expected to close at about 1 p.m. After that, there will be prayers, and then that military honors, which will take place at Kangoka Jaramogi. It will be a significant time for the country. One of the very few state funerals that have taken place. Also a show of the kind of respect that the nation has accorded Baba. We've seen even from the pallbearers handling the casket, all of them from the Kenya Defence Forces, all of them the rank of major. just to show the level of respect that the friend of the right, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, is being taken with. Now, the National State Funeral Committee did also mention that after this interment ceremony, they will announce a raft of subsequent activities to honor the life of Raila Amolo Odinga. So it remains to be seen what subsequent activities will go on. Of course, especially residents of the Luo community have said that 3 days is not enough for them to give a befitting send-off, especially culturally, for the late Raila Amolo Odinga. So we await that announcement from Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, who's also expected to be here alongside President William Ruto to lead the nation in bidding Raila Amolo Odinga goodbye. We will continue to come here at the grounds to speak to the dignitaries. Of course, like you say, Ibrahim, the tributes that will be given here today will go a long way, even into bridging the political divide and the peace that the leaders in the country have been preaching. All right, and so let's take a look at what's happening now at the Kangoka Jaramogi, where Raila Odinga will finally be laid rest. And you are there for the last 2 days, Ibrahim. How have the preparations been before we go live? As
of last evening, the burial site was ready. I looked at that particular space, and I think we're likely to see an announcement being made where not everyone will be allowed to access Kangoka Jaramogi. It's very likely to be a strictly family and friends affair, plus top government officials. But another interesting spectacle to watch will be the people who will be lining up from here to Kangoka Jaramogi when the body finally heads to the final resting place. Because remember, here it will be heading by road, and it's 5 kilometers. And I can only imagine those kind of pictures that we'll be seeing, and of course we'll be bringing to our viewers, of people who will be lining up along the road to say goodbye to Baba. And again, because they will not be allowed to access Kangoka Jaramogi, perhaps, I foresee a situation where they may end up walking to the gates of Kangoka Jaramogi to just bid farewell to Baba. So right now, let's cross over to that particular point where Mash is actually here. Mash is here. Let's proceed to the other side of where our team of Macharia Mbogwa, Ruth Sarmoei, and the entire team are, to hear what it is that they have to tell us from where they are.
Well, Michelle, indeed, from this other end, it's me, Macharia Mbugwa, and Ruth Sarmoei Chesenge. You can hear from the background, definitely, these are residents who have turned out in their numbers, considering yesterday it was said, according to the planners of the event, that this place entirely, they were expecting an audience of over 100,000. Well, the arrangements have really happened, and you can see within the short timelines, I can say these residents did not just start turning in here within the shortest time possible. These residents turned out starting last evening. It has been in a kind of way a celebration for them, chanting and singing songs to praise Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, led by choir and a special band that have been musical all the way since the early morning at around 6 a.m. We've been looking through this whole situation, and you can see from the other end is that there is an increased security protocol. We've seen officers from different units. These are officers from the Kenya Defense Forces who are arranging for the funeral. And as you can see, while indeed here right behind me, the officers' funeral arrangements, they are making arrangements on the stage, setting the set prepared for the purpose of where the body of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga will be put as the whole mass continues throughout the day. We've monitored the situation and noticed that most of these young men and women, the elderly, they have all filled the stadium in their numbers, and they are moving all around. The military is still coming in their numbers. They are coming in with different protocols. Just moments ago, they were coming in with the flags. They are coming in with the flowers and the portraits that are supposed to be put on this podium. Nonetheless, what we've observed, Michelle and Ibrahim, indeed these residents have come to this place, and they are all carrying a flag, a special flag. That on one side, the flag has the portrait of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga marked with the year of birth and the year that he rested. And also on the other end of the flag is where it's marked with the Kenyan flag, just showing the strong role that Baba Raila Odinga has been praised over time for being a lead in terms of democracy, considering how big he played the role in giving Kenya a new constitution and also developing democracy in this country. Having observed also is the smooth protocol that has been happening since morning. There has been a protocol of entry where residents were allowed to enter anytime from any entrance except the VIP entrance, the VVIP entrance that is being monitored, that only is being allowed for the protocol, that is the military and probably the expected guests. Having noticed the few past days, Karanja and Michelle, this place has been a beehive of activities, right from government officials stepping in, from different units stepping in, and also, most importantly, residents of Bondo and residents of Siaya County who have been stepping in, and in the process of stepping in, they have not been able to do the planning. Residents of Bondo have also been able to come in and present their grieving in their different ways. Today is quite different, considering the other days it has been wails, it has been griefs, it has been kind of disappointment, but on this other end it has been today it's kind of a celebration, a good send-off as per the wishes of the family, and specifically as per the wishes of Mama Ida Odinga, who yesterday called on residents of Bondo to just do a proper send-off, a peaceful send-off, to show the world how much Baba Raila Odinga has been loved here. I can't express it much. I would rather now hand over to my colleague who is on the other end, that is Ruth Sarmoy. Ruth Sarmoy, if you can tell us what is happening. Talk to the residents. Tell us what is their mood as they celebrate the last moments and the last mass and the last send-off of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga.
Masharia, it's more of a celebration of life here in Bondo, as residents have turned up in large numbers. Already the two tents, a 32,000 capacity tent is filled to the brim, and the other spaces are now accommodating the overflow, and they are going to follow the proceedings from the screen. Sasa utaanza kwa majina na utuambie umetoka kaunti gani na ulifika hapa saa ngapi?
Kwa majina naitwa Jekonia Ukinyi Odhiambo. Natoka kaunti ya Migori.
Ulifika hapa saa ngapi?
Tulitoka Migori saa 4 tukafika hapa saa 8:30.
Na ni nini haswa imekusukuma utoke umbali huo ukafika hapa ili kumpa buriani baba?
Baba na kumkumbuka vile ametutetea. Zamani hatukuwa naweza kuongea hata usiku, ukiongea unaweza shikwa hata na polisi, na tumeshukuru vile ametupigania. Na kuna wakati nililia sana 2007 when he won the elections, but baadaye akanyang'anywa. I was heartbroken and I really shed tears. But nashukuru ametupigia, na kwa sasa tunaona matunda yake.
Sawa sawa, acha tusikize kutoka mkazi huyu.
Arrest in peace.
Sawa sawa, anza kwa majina utuambie umetoka kaunti gani na ulifika hapa saa ngapi?
Natoka katika kaunti ya Migori, naitwa Esther Ambani, na furaha sana kufika kwenye sherehe ya baba.
Utamkumbuka baba namna gani?
Tamkumbuka baba kwa vituko vyake, mzee wa vitendawili, yani tunamlilia baba sana.
Asante sana. Naona kuna kijana hapa. Anza kwa majina na utuambie umetoka kaunti gani, ulifika hapa saa ngapi, na utamkumbuka baba namna gani?
Mimi naitwa Samson Ochieng, natoka kaunti ya Nakuru Njoro. Nimefika hapa jana saa 4. Toka hiyo masaa tumekuwa hapa, hata ukiona bado niko na shuka. Baba alikuwa mtu wa watu, ametetea nchi. Sasa sisi kama Gen Z nasema baba pumzike mahala pema peponi, tutazidi kumkumbuka.
Kama Gen Z mtafanya nini kuhakikisha kwamba kumbukumbu ya baba inazidi kukumbukwa?
Kama Gen Z tutahakikisha penye baba ameachia hatutarudi nyuma. Zile haki za binadamu ambazo amekuwa akizitetea, nasi pia tutakuwa tukizitetea, ili nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda iendelee mbele kuanzia pale penye baba aliacha. Kama Gen Z hatutarudi nyuma, tutatetea zile haki za binadamu zenye baba alikuwa anapenda.
Asante sana. Asante sana. Anza kwa majina, utuambie umetoka kaunti gani na ulifika hapa saa ngapi?
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Kennedy Oluoch, nimetoka Migori County na nilifika hapa saa 8 usiku ili tuje tuomboleze na Wakenya wengine kwa hii kifo cha baba.
Wewe utamkumbuka baba kivipi?
Baba nitamkumbuka kwa maneno mengi sana. Demokrasia multiparty, yeye ndiye alitusaidia mpaka akatoa multiparty. Akatoa single party akaleta multiparty. Tangu multiparty letwe, Kenya tumekuwa na nafuu kabisa. Hata wakati huu tulikuwa nataka tusaidie ili bei za vitu zirudi chini, hata upande wa matibabu. Hii maneno wanasema ya SHA, kweli SHA haifanyi. Tulikuwa nataka tumwambie ajaribu kuongea na rais ili waangalie namna SHA inaweza kufanya wagonjwa wasaidike.
Wito wako kwa viongozi ambao walikuwa wanashikwa mkono na baba ni upi ili waweze kuendeleza ile kazi ambayo unadhani baba hakumaliza?
Broad-based government ilikuwa inaenda kufanya kazi vizuri. Na hii broad-based government, maana baba aliacha, tunajua baba pia alikuja na zake kuambia rais wetu Ruto ili Ruto naye ajui namna ya kufanya kazi na baba.
Sawa sawa. Wacha tusikize kutoka kwa mkazi huyu. Anza kwa majina, utuambie unamkumbuka baba vipi?
Naitwa Daniel Omondi Aguambo. Nampenda baba tangu kuzaliwa kwangu. Mimi nishawahi kuwania hata udiwani kule Nairobi, nikisimama na chama cha ODM. Yale yenye baba amefanya, mimi kibinafsi nitafanya eternally. Nitafanya kile kitu inaitwa eternal vigilance. Baba umeenda na tutabaki, mabaya yenye yako hatutarudi nyuma. Tutasimama nayo mpaka kidete, mpaka dakika mwisho. Rest in peace Raila Amolo Odinga.
Asante sana. Anza kwa majina na utuambie umetoka kaunti gani na utamkumbuka baba vipi?
Mimi naitwa Peter Owino, natoka Homa Bay. Nasema nimependa baba kabisa. Nitakumbuka baba na jina lake naitwa Tinga. Nitakaa na vile baba alishafanya, vile baba amesimama na sisi, tutakaa na baba, nitakaa na chama ya baba mpaka milele na milele. Nimependa baba kabisa. Nimetoka Homa Bay kuanzia saa 6, nimefika hapa saa 6. Nitakaa na chama cha ODM ya baba mpaka.
Asante sana. Kwa majina na ufupi, utamkumbuka baba vipi?
Mimi naitwa Jana Paula Beach. Mimi ni youth leader ya party ya ODM. Leo nimefika hapa kuombeleza na Wakenya wenzangu kwa kifo ya kiongozi wangu Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Odinga, lala salama. Asante sana.
Kwa ufupi tu, utamkumbuka baba kivipi na majina yako?
Kwa hakika baba ni kiongozi mzuri ambaye nitaishi kumkumbuka, maana ameweza kusaidia nchi ya Kenya katika katiba na kupigania haki za kibinadamu. Tumekuwa tukimuona kwa mahali pengi akiweza kusaidia na kutetea haki zetu, na kwa hakika tutamkumbuka daima milele. Asante.
Naam, jinsi unavyosikia wengi tu ni hao ambao wanamkumbuka baba wakimsherekea kwa kupigania haki na demokrasia ya nchi. Lakini naona kuna wale ambao wamevalia nguo ama sare inayoonyesha rangi ya ODM. Wacha tusikize kutoka kwao. Utaanza mama, simama. Uzungumze na sisi. Anza kwa majina, utuambie unamkumbuka baba vipi. Anza kwa majina, utuambie utamkumbuka baba vipi.
Baba de wote lego Tinga Amolo Tinga de kojoa
Haya, huyu anazungumza Kijaluo na kona hisia nyingi tu, bado anaomboleza. Wacha tusikize kutoka kwako. Anza kwa majina, utuambie utamkumbuka baba vipi na umetoka kaunti gani?
Kwa majina naitwa Sara Oduoru kutoka Ugunja sub county, Siaya county, Ugunja sub county. Mimi napenda Raila Amolo Odinga. Yeye ndiye alinifanya nikaingia katika chama cha ODM. ODM imekuwa chama cha imara kwa miaka ya 20, na baba ametuongoza, ameongoza Kenya, ameongoza wananchi. Hata ukiangalia mazishi yake saa hii, hakuna yeyote hapa Kenya aliyefanyiwa mazishi kama Raila Amolo Odinga, na hakuna mwingine atakayefanyiwa kama hii. Kwa hivyo nakumbusha Wakenya wote, baba Raila Amolo kumbe alikuwa ni kiongozi, na watu hawakujua baba ni kiongozi. Wangejua wangempatia urais aongoze nchi yetu ya Kenya. Lakini kwa haya yote mimi nalia sababu baba ametuacha, ni mtu tunampenda.
sawa. Asante sana. Mama, utaanza kwa majina, utuambie umetoka kaunti gani na ulifika hapa saa ngapi?
Mimi nimetoka kaunti ya Homa Bay. Tulifika hapa jana saa 2. Tumekuja kuomboleza na watu wa kina baba. Tumekuja kulia. Tunakuna uchungu sana. Baba ametuacha kwa uchungu sana. Asijalala tangu baba akufe. Lakini sasa ninajua leo nitapumzika baba, kwa sababu baba anapumzika. Tuko na furaha sana. Tuko na utaratibu. Watu wametulia sana, tunalia mzee mkubwa, baba wetu Raila Amolo Odinga, Wonpi Jacob Tinga Amolo Juma. Amewacha baba gavana yetu na peke yake. Tunalia sana, tuko na uchungu. Hata gavana yetu Gladys Wanga ako na uchungu sana. Tunamsaidia kulia baba. Tuko na taratibu sana. Asante mama.
Sawa. Asante.
Chakula iko na watu wako wengi. Hakuna time ya kukula. Tuko na time ya kulia peke yake. Asante sana.
Naam, huyo hao ni baadhi ya waombolezaji waliofika katika eneo hili, na wengi wao wanamiminia sifa Raila Amolo Odinga kwa yale ambayo alifanya katika historia ya Kenya, sio tu kisiasa lakini pia kupigania haki za binadamu na kuhakikisha kwamba haki za binadamu zinatiliwa mkazo na serikali, kwa maana wakati mwingi alikuwa kwenye upande wa upinzani. Vile vile baadhi yao wameweza kupongeza serikali kwa kuweka ile ambayo wanaita broad based government. Kwa hivyo picha ambazo unaziona ni kwamba wengi wanapeperusha tu bendera kuonyesha jinsi ambavyo baba, bendera ambayo ama vijikaratasi vilivyo na bendera ya Kenya upande moja, upande mwingine ukiwa na picha ya baba, wakimuonyesha tu jinsi baba alikuwa mzalendo humo nchini. Kwa hivyo hali ndio hii, wengi bado wanazidi kumomboleza, wanamiminia sifa na wamefika kwa wingi. Mmoja wao hata amesema licha ya kuwa na chakula hapo jana hawakuweza kula kutokana na uchungu ama jinsi ambavyo walikuwa wanaomboleza. Tutazidi kuzungumza nao wao hapo baadaye, lakini kwa sasa hali ndio hii.
Tembea mwenzangu, twashukuru tumeita katika mwito. Yesu alale kindore dalawa mukwe omano dalaki Yesu tokoro imani mola dojo edala koro ere imani genga igesae katalwenge Chobutona magawe yoni Yesu ensalaba Chokoro Kimani bona dojo elala Ere kimani genga Okatalwen genga Katali chobutona magawe yoni Yesu ensalaba Aduaro teko manikuwa Yesu nahitaji uwezo ama shegi mnate kila mtu teko manikuwa Yesu ondalo luenja epinka kieni pinyo pongo di mudo oyuma kianjao Yesu mia teko nalochi aduano teko manikuwa Yesu mondalo epini pinyo pongo oyuma kianjao Yesu mia teko nalochi tokoro ere okoro ere kana kijisae katalwe kenga katarisho butona magawe yoni Yesu ensalaba tokoro Chobutona oteko yaye ayaye baba anadwa oteko man kuom Yesu
Well, thank you very much. Just to inform you that I'm also here at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology, where the ceremony for the send-off of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga is already partly underway. A huge crowd has already gathered here at the grounds, and of course, as you can hear in the background, there's a lot of activities that are going on right now. A lot of people are still streaming in all the way from Kisumu, Kisian Junction coming this way. There's a lot of people actually walking on foot from that distance coming to us this side. When we were getting into Bondo town just a while ago, we encountered a huge traffic, both of motor vehicles and even pedestrians trooping into this particular venue for this historic event that is just about to kick off. And right now, I think I have a couple of mourners here who are eager to say one or two things regarding the fallen hero, that is Raila Amolo Odinga. Let's just start by, let's hear from this gentleman here. Your name first.
Okay, my name.
Okay.
This is Collins Otieno, also known as Kisumu Englishman. I'm intimately inspired by the language and culture around me, and the inspiration has resulted to many speeches I must come up with, especially on NTV. And the style is categorized as an autobioethnography that combines snapshots, autobiography, history, and fictions to come up with many stories that are truer than true. So I felt devastated, exasperated, flustered, flurried, suddenly exhausted, and desperately tired due to the death of Dr. Baba Right Honorable Raila Odinga, who is the most charismatic, proactive, paradoxing, controversial, and perhaps difficult to understand. The leadership characteristic is not that of chauvinistic and parochial, not that of tribalistic, nepotistic, hooliganistic, or demagogic networks. In fact, sometimes back when other people like Mheshimiwa Babowino, Mheshimiwa Aduma Uwor, Rosa Kijibu first publicly proclaimed the supremacy of Odinga's national politics and the leadership qualities, they were immediately isolated and ostracized by the imperialists, by Desuges, and by then their leadership political protagonists.
Well, let's hear from another gentleman.
Okay,
Kiswahili or English, please?
I cannot speak in Swahili.
All right, let's get someone.
Asante sana, mimi naitwa Bruno Chieng kutoka Nyakach. Tunashukuru sana kukuja kuomboleza Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga. Tuko na huzuni sana, lakini tunaomba tu Mungu asike Raila, tukae na amani kabisa. Tusike Raila mpaka milele na milele. Alafu tunaomba watu wa ODM wakae mara na wakae kila kona, kila mtu wakae na kuwe mzuri.
Haya. Okoth Lajman, Wila Sembo.
Kiswahili tafadhali.
Okay, mimi naitwa Okoth Lajman. Mimi natoka Rarieda, eneo la Otiende Amolo. Sasa mimi nasema watu wa ODM wasimame imara, na sisi kama watu wa ODM tuombe kabisa ili tupate kiongozi ambaye atalila chama chetu cha ODM, ili ODM ivume na ile iwe na jina lake la vile ilikuwa mwanzo hadi mwisho. Na mimi nasihi watu wa leaders wa ODM, mkae chonjo, msibadilishe sura zenu na mafikiria zenu, muwe chonjo na muangalie na mfikirie vile baba alikuwa na nyinyi naye pia mpate kiongozi moja, muunge mkono huyu mtu mwenye atakuwa kwa hiyo mdini ya baba.
No
wita mundu we. Oh, no one no wita mundu we. Wita mundu.
Asante sana Kenyatta National Hospital Choir. Hivi sasa tutawapisha Kenya Ports Authority Choir ili waweze kutuimbia wimbo mmoja.
Here inside the main tent or the main area where the funeral service will take place, the energy is quite high. We have residents here chanting Baba, Joey, all holding flags, singing songs of praise for the late former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. We have dignitaries, state officials who are continuing to stream in, all in large numbers, many in black or traditional regalia as a sign of respect to Raila Amolo Odinga in preparation for the start of that funeral service or interment ceremony that is expected to begin at exactly 9 a.m. Now, several of them are here to also give their final respects and tributes to the late Raila Odinga, and among them is the Speaker of Siaya County, George Okode. He was here up and early among the mourners here to pay their last respects. Good morning. What do you make of this final journey home for Raila Amolo Odinga?
Thank you very much. My name is George Okode. I'm the Speaker of Siaya County Assembly. This is a day like no other. It is the end of an era and beginning of another one. We thank Raila Amolo Odinga for furthering democracy and for furthering devolution. We also thank our people for giving Raila an opportunity to shine. Whatever Raila has given us is something that we'll never forget. And there can only be one Raila at a time. It is easier to say that there will be someone like Raila, but I doubt there can only be one. We want to thank our people very sincerely for making peace happen and for giving Raila the send-off that he deserves. He will forever remain in our hearts, and we urge that his spirit lives on. We are very grateful, and today is a sad day because we are sending a hero to rest. May the hero rest and may his spirit continue guiding us.
Many thanks. That is the Speaker of the Siaya County, George Okode there. And perhaps just before I let you go, many have said they would like to see cultural Luo burial rites take place, as Raila Odinga is being sent off. What are your expectations in that regard?
Yeah, that is true. Actually, even yesterday when the body arrived at home, there were plans to have the culture roll out. But because of the masses and the mixture of the state involvement, it makes it a bit difficult. But I believe once the state is done with the burial, then the culture will now follow. It will be done.
Many thanks. Thank you so much. He is one of the mourners here, and many, many more, of course, looking to give their final respects to the late Raila Amolo Odinga. Mama, let me begin with you. Very good morning to you. What do you make of this final send-off for Raila Amolo Odinga?
We have lost a hero. I have lost my father. I lost my father many years ago. He became my father when he recognized me. So we are putting to lay the most important person in our lives. Raila has been good to women. Raila does not have any boundaries when it comes to women. The 2/3 gender rule brought so many women into the assembly. And all those women are here today. We have been walking this since he died. We will walk in his path because I believe he left us somewhere. We are not going to walk out from the place that he left us. We are going to be there, and we are going to listen to our leaders because we have our leaders. So I'm requesting everybody. Raila has gone, but he left us the leaders. Please, let us respect their decision. Let us listen to them. Let us not say anything that could have offended him when he was alive. But we have lost a hero. We have lost a father, more so to women. And that's why you see so many women here. The respect that he has for women.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And of course, many, many remembering the life and the legacy that Raila Odinga left behind. Let's begin with your name, sir, and what you remember Raila Odinga for today.
I'm Okoto Pande from this region. I remember an icon, a leader who has shaped our country in many ways. He is the father of democracy, father of devolution, and a just man who looked forward to a fair Kenya for everyone. And the man we believe in his death will still shape the future of this country. His fight for inclusion, his fight for justice, and his fight for equity still remains a pillar that this country must lean on moving forward. As we send him off today, we pray for united Kenya, a Kenya he always sacrificed his own ambitions for, and we hope, moving forward, this country will learn the art of sacrifice, the art of forgiveness, and above all, the heart of nationhood. May the soul of the icon, our father, Baba, rest in eternal peace as we forge a nation solid on what he believes in, solid on what it stands for, and solid that his memory will not be betrayed by those who have left behind. We stand to defend what he stood for, and we promise the nation that in our small little ways, let's remember Jacom for who he was. May he rest in peace. Thank you.
Many thanks. Let's hear from a resident of Migori, coming all the way here to Siaya County to pay your final respects. What do you celebrate today?
I'm Mheshimiwa Bono Remo from Migori County. We are condoling a hero, and that's why you can see the entire stadium is very full. We want to say, let Raila Amolo Odinga rest in peace. Raila was one person who could be representing anybody in the Republic. That war, we have never reached the Canaan, Raila said. I want to urge other Kenyans, we are yet with the Canaan. Let us soldier on with the Raila Odinga spirit. Because Raila Amolo Odinga believed in equity. Raila Amolo Odinga believed in transparency. Raila Amolo Odinga believed in transparency. And therefore, let us soldier on. Let us support Raila Amolo Odinga in Jesus' name. Amen.
And finally, sir, what do you celebrate today as we send and put Raila to rest?
My name is Hospital Obungowich, the president of the Kenya Bunge la Wananchi Caucus. Today, I remember Baba for fighting for democracy, for fighting for devolution, a human rights defender. I remember Baba for engaging the communities together and fighting for equity. Somebody who stood forward to bring every other communities together, an untribal leader, and a global icon, the son of Africa, the son of Kenya, a man from Luo community who brought all the Luos together and united us together. As I finish, I want to say that the Kenya Bunge la Wananchi Caucus celebrates their leader. It is through Baba that we got the voice to speak. Baba fought for the freedom of rights, and through that we were very categorical and very encouraged each and every time that Baba was there speaking for on behalf of the people. Today we say, Baba, rest in peace, and we salute you for all that you have done to us as a people. Thank you, and may God bless.
Asante sana. So that is just some of the residents here and mourners who have come to pay their last respects. We have dignitaries continue to stream in. We've just had the arrival of Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga, among many other governors. There's been Peter Ojomong, Gideon Mugaro. We're still expecting the Siaya Governor, James Orengo. But let's take you to the other side of studio where my colleague NTV's Masharia Mbogwa is on standby with more from the activities of this morning. Masharia.
Well, indeed, it's Masharia Mbugwa here on this other end with Ruth Sarmoe talking to the residents and also the mourners who are on this end. And just to mention what is happening is that now the spirited residents are up on celebration. Remember, like I said, from early in the morning at around 6 a.m., this place was already filled to capacity. And as per the planning of the event is that all these people must have a chance to view the entire proceeding of the mass and the entire speeches and all that will be giving their bereavement to Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. They have turned out in their numbers, dressed up in, definitely, the popping color is color orange, marking the party ODM, which is the prominent party that Baba Raila Amolo Odinga was the ODM party leader. On these grounds, we've seen them turn in their numbers, and also there's an extended ground. Screens have been erected everywhere just to show how much this one is just to show how much these people are celebrating Baba. You can see the performances that are happening on stage. Like I said earlier, this is quite different from the other days. The other days have been days of kind of mourning. There have been sad days of mourning in sad ways, but today it has been celebration since morning. This is the will of not just the family of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. This is not just the will of Mama Ida Odinga, not the will of the planning committee, but this was the will of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Even other leaders who are here have also suggested that they should see that Baba is well celebrated by these residents of this area. We're speaking with a couple of residents here. I have one who is on my back, and that is Boniface, who said it's Boniface Odhiambo. You've really followed up with NTV. You've really followed up with this situation. Thank you for speaking with NTV. It's quite a sad day. It's also a day of celebration, the last day of the send-off of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Just tell us, as a resident of Bondo here in Siaya County, where do you come from specifically, which village, and how are you going to celebrate Baba for his last send-off today?
Thank you very much. I'm Boniface Odhiambo. I'm a son of Bondo, born and my umbilical cord was buried in Bondo. I've lived here for several years. This is where I call home. We are here today not only to mourn Baba but also to celebrate Raila Odinga. I'm very grateful for Raila living that much. He gave us time to live with him. We will not be a generation of history. We will not be a generation to be told story about Raila Odinga. We have seen who is Raila Odinga and we can judge by ourselves. About Raila Odinga, we are here today on his last celebration. Of course it hurts. That's the honest thing. Since his person, we have been, I personally have been very hurting, and today I think it might be my last day of tearing out, but I'm not healing anytime sooner. We have lost a soldier, we've lost a dad, we've lost a historian, we've lost someone, you know, that if you send him somewhere, Raila Odinga will come with the results. Raila is not like any other people. Raila is a father that when you approach Raila, or when Odinga tells you that he's going to do you something, he will do it despite of anything. We have seen Raila going against the odds and things worked out. There is anyone that we are expecting that will match the fate of Raila Odinga. No one else.
I can see from the looks, it's like you've spent the entire evening here. It's like you've spent the entire day here. Probably, what time did you arrive here? Probably, what time did you arrive here? Just like other residents who arrived here very early in the morning. And also, I've seen it's more like this thing has really impacted you in such a way. what could be the probable suggestion? You are a young man. The Gen Z have turned out in their numbers. In fact, the front row is really dominated by these young people. So what is your take to the young people and the generation that is to take it from Baba Raila Amolo Odinga?
To my younger generation and the generation that comes next after us, one thing I need people to learn about Raila Odinga is resilience. Raila is a guy who never gave up. I've spent all my life, I've read more about Raila Odinga. This is a guy who came into politics at his 40s. He's dying at his 80s when he's a man that everyone envies. So I'll urge my generation to fully and always trust in the process and believe that anything can happen. Secondly, patience and forgiveness is something that Raila has taught us. Always let us learn to forgive and let us not be tribalists. Raila lived his life fighting tribalism and corruption. Let us stand for that in honor of Raila Odinga. I know Mzee will be very happy where he will be.
Well, sorry, Odhiambo, I've noticed this one is getting too emotional on you, but thank you for speaking with NTV. Well, that is the mood here at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga grounds, where it has been pomp and celebration, but that never misses. Amidst the celebration, it's tears. We've seen women, men, everyone who stand out from here, and notably also, these are not just residents of Bondo, not just residents of Siaya County. These are residents from all over the country. From all over Mombasa, we've seen residents from Migori, we've seen residents from every corner of the country. We've seen residents even from Narok County. We've seen residents from far off as Turkana who are speaking to us the past few days, who have come here to mourn and celebrate the life of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. My colleague, I'm joined by my colleague Ruth Sarmoi Chesenge here. Ruth, you have observed for the past 3 days what has been transpiring on these grounds. What could you suggest as we go to the peak of this event of resting Baba Raila Amolo Odinga?
I would say so far the residents have been very peaceful and calm, and they've been following directions that they are given. I've also noticed that the family has been very welcoming to all guests, including residents, and their homes have been open since the news of Raila's demise came. So far there has been no hiccup other than stampedes that were witnessed by residents who were coming to view the body. A bit of stampede was also there yesterday at their home in Opoda, as well as Mamboleo back then, Kisumu. So basically, even today we are witnessing so much calmness from the residents, and they are receiving and obliging to directions given by the event's MC.
Well, indeed, that has been clear all through, that the family has really been welcoming, not just here for the few visitors who are coming in, but also even to the locals. Remember, the home compound of Raila Amolo Odinga has remained open as per the tradition. Immediately the sad news went public that it has remained open to every other person to come in, sign the condolence book, grieve in their own way, which is really something that has stood out outstanding. Also, the peace exercised by residents here in Bondo, being patient enough to allow the rest of the country to have an opportunity to grieve Baba. That is right from Nairobi. Also, when they came to Kisumu, the residents have maintained the peace. Yesterday evening, we've seen them also crowd the compound. Now they were saying it's their turn. They turned out in numbers, changing the program from Baba coming home, then going for body viewing, to the body viewing before he came home. But eventually Baba had an opportunity to sleep in his home compound, courtesy of the planning committee, courtesy of the residents of Bondo, and even local leaders who've really emphasized on the message of peace, including Mama Ida Odinga, who visibly she has stood strong and expressed to other people. Ruth, you've gone to the other extent of seeing the planning. There has been minimal timelines issued for this event. What has been your observation in terms of planning, seeing the kind of colorful preparations around this ground?
So far, I think they're really trying to adhere to the timelines that have been set, because it's some minutes past 8 a.m. in the morning, and the program is supposed to start at 9. And we've already seen the lay bearers already arriving here. The clergy has already arrived. We're just waiting for the chaplaincy and the team bringing the body of Raila Odinga as well as the family to arrive here. We've also seen leaders already trickling in. A couple of ODM leaders have already arrived here, and leaders from across the country that have arrived. And I'm sure our colleagues Ibrahim Karanja and Michelle Ngele have been able to get a good glimpse of the leaders who are trickling in from their side. So basically that has been the case. Maybe to take you back to what you had just mentioned, some may feel that yesterday, as part of the restrictions that were given, when some of the members were kept out from the family, they were not per se kept out from the family, they were kept away from the home, only that leaders were allowed to get into the house or the compound of the house. But there was a specific place set for residents to follow the proceedings that were happening in the house, as well as another adjacent area where it had more space for the family or the residents who had come from Bondo and the surrounding counties to view the body. And what is notable is that leaders or those who the planning committee extended some good time for the residents to view the body, because this is their leader, this is his home, and they really wanted to see, to believe that he was gone.
Yeah, quite some busy evening yesterday, noticing that the family requested specifically, and that was a humble request actually, from the governor, Sir Governor James Orengo himself, that residents should allow Baba Raila Amolo Odinga to have a moment at his home, a peaceful moment with his family and his close friends, especially in the political space. We've seen plannings also, leaders tributes trickling from all over the world. We've seen leaders step into that crowd. Yesterday we saw a couple of Sudanese, South Sudan congregation that came to condole with the family. We also saw other visitors from the international space. And Ruth, you had an opportunity to speak to Mama Ida Odinga. Probably, what are the expected guests to this event?
Well, yesterday she spoke about leaders coming from Nigeria. I had her mention Obasanjo. So we would be waiting to see whether he would be arriving here. As well as South Africa, we also have Zimbabwe, South Sudan, and other dignitaries or representatives from other countries. What was also notable, there were leaders or representatives who came specifically, or envoys of leaders who came specifically to offer their condolences. For example, we had the second wife of Morgan Tsvangirai, the president of Zimbabwe, that is Elizabeth Masheka, who was here. We also had representatives from South Sudan. So basically, those are some of the leaders that we've had the family mention that they were going to arrive here.
Well, I could see also, just to note here locally, leaders from different political divide who had arrived. Earlier in the morning, there was Governor George Natembeya, who arrived at the Kangoka Jaramogi, where the burial site is, and he also presented cows. I don't know, there's a lot of symbolism with how different leaders from different cultures come in to grieve with the family. We saw the governor of Busia County also coming in. We saw also the elders and leaders from the North Rift region who came in to bring in also a whole cloud of 80 cows. Actually, this one was symbolic, symbolizing 80 years of not just service to the country, but a life well lived, a life that has over-dedicated a hero of the country. And also we saw the senator of Migori, who also came with a couple of cows. Actually, it has been cows all the way. Kind of a symbol, yes, and I don't know, Ruth, you've been following up on the same. These cows symbolism and the other kind of gifts that are coming in. What have the leaders been saying about it?
Well, I think yesterday, even when the Busia governor was arriving with his, while driving in the cows, they said they were bringing it as a sign of mourning, number one, and they were also bringing it as food for the family, because during the mourning period they receive a lot of visitors during that time, and they need food to provide to the visitors who come into the compound. And there's something I think people have been confusing. There's a cultural symbolism where they drive cows, and it's called